This is the 2012 Down, Fumble, and Progress training video. The first one is a play that was ruled down, but it was a fumble, and it's just a matter of maintaining your concentration and focus and not jumping on that whistle too quickly. You must see the play, allow it to develop, and then evaluate what you're seeing. And then you can try to avoid some of these situations. Should have been the defense's ball. They ruled it down, and then the offense had another crack at it. Play number 2, and these are really just inadvertent whistle plays because they're ruled down, but they're not. This is a goal line situation. The mechanic is for the wing guys to get to the goal line, which the guy at the top does. Well, the guy at the bottom, the line judge, he gets fooled by this action, and you can see him come into play at the 5-yard line. So now he's out of position. He's got his beanbag down, he's blowing his whistle, and now the referee has to come in and say, okay, well, we blew the whistle. But in reality, he broke all these tackles. The official in the line judge position should have stayed at the goal line, and he would have had a much better vantage point from this angle that you're looking at now as to what actually happened on the play. He would have had a perfect view if he was mechanically in position, and that's where mechanics can save you. So follow them, study them, get fantastic at them, and your game will definitely improve. Play number 3 is a punt play, but I have it in this section because it was a question of whether it was fumble or down. Now the headlinesman at the top of the screen ruled that the runner was down. The back judge, you can see by his expression here, he's trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, I guess you're right. But it's a great call. Look at this. Elbow down, ball pops out. That's a great call. He must have had a super good look at it because he was confident about it. And overall, it just is, that's perfect. Play number 4 involves a quarterback, and it was ruled a fumble. It was not a fumble. He was down, but this is a left-handed quarterback. The referee's at a bit of a disadvantage. Looks kind of quick here. You can't really tell what's going on. But when you look at it from the back, the referee's perspective, or should be, you can see that his body goes down before he whips the ball into the ground, and the ground then after he's down, causing the ball to pop up. So it's just a matter of trying to get your mobility and positioning where you can make an accurate call. Play number 5 is another quarterback play. This was ruled a fumble, and I got to tell you, it's very, very tight. But the referee was in a good position, and he basically just had to make a decision based on what he was seeing and able to process at the time. Like I said, very tight. When you get to the end zone view, you'll see that it appears that it's a fumble, but I'm telling you, it does not get much tighter than this. So I got to give hats off to the referee and the crew on this for allowing this play to develop in what appears to be a very, very accurate call as a fumble, even though it was super tight. Play number 6 was ruled a fumble versus progress, and I like the call. It's a very close call, and if you ruled that the player's forward progress was stopped, it would be okay too. I mean, this is really a gray area play. The reason why I like this as a fumble call versus a progress call, and from this angle it looks more like a progress call, down and rip. But when you look at the next angle, which is this one, it appears that the running back, although he is laying on his player, is still rolling forward a bit at the time of the rip. So for that reason, I like the fumble call. Play number 7, this is a big game. This is the Division I championship game at the end of the year, and the goal line is in question in relation to forward progress. And I think this is really the progress play of the year. I don't like the way it was handled or ruled on the field. I believe forward progress was stopped at the 2, and that the running back, who was the ball carrier, was in full control of the ball and his body as he was being pushed back, and the only reason the ball came loose is because he was aware of the goal line in an attempt to reach it outside of the end zone into the field of play. After he was already pushed back, he lost possession of the ball. So I really believe that this is a forward progress spot at the 2, that the head linesman on the other side of the field could have probably helped a little bit, and it probably didn't help that there was an illegal shift on the play. But we still have to get these right. Play number 8. Cross-field mechanics are not used, and this is going to be a theme for a number of plays. Here we go. I've got the cross-field line on the field. The official should come up and be looking for the cross-field official, which he's not, marks him a yard short. This is a basic practice that we need to get right. Play number 9. Same thing. Cross-field mechanics. Player comes up. He's hit, rolls over. The line judge comes up and places him at the 15. Well, the reason the line judge placed him at the 15, he's properly trailing the play, because he didn't get any help from his head linesman, who's way back. You can see him highlighted. He's like 10 yards back. This guy's down at the 18-yard line. And then, as he rolls over, you can see the head linesman casually coming up the field. The runner's getting up, and the head linesman's not even at the 20. So we need some hustle and awareness on these plays. Play number 10. Again, cross-field mechanics. We have to work together as a crew. Hit at the 48-yard line. Now the head linesman doesn't have to worry about progress. We already know where that's at. You need to worry about separating these players instead of worrying about the progress. In fact, you're a yard off because you weren't in a position whereas the line judge was. Play number 11. The last of the cross-field slides I have. He is hit at the 20 and driven back out of bounds. We stop the clock. This is just before the half. It's a nothing play. We should be running out the half at this point because this guy's down in bounds and we're stopping the clock. Use your cross-field mechanics. Put the ball at the 20-yard line. The guy's in bounds. He's being driven back. In fact, his knee hits down. So we can solve a lot of problems through communication. Play number 12 is what I call a slide play, and that's when the runner hits the ground and he slides a number of yards. You see it in some of the wet games, particularly on turf, and this runner hits at the 3 and slides almost to the goal line. But the officiating crew marked him exactly at the 3, which was the perfect spot to mark him, and it was a real nice job. This is the last play on the tape. And it's a long play for what would have been a touchdown. He was ruled out of bounds by touching the sideline. And it's just a question of whether or not he did touch the sideline. Now, as we slow this down, you can see it is a tight rope. And we sometimes have these, and we have to be able to judge on them. And this official, this deep official in the 7-man mechanic was able to do that. This one's good. This one is out. So that's a great call. That's exactly where it was spotted. That's way to stay on your toes and to continue officiating alertly and accurately. That's the end of down fumble progress, guys. Thanks again.
If you got